for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome on into the 4 o'clock hour. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're expecting Utah Mammoth head coach André Tourigny shortly for our weekly conversation. Tough one last night against the Colorado Avalanche. Kind of what we all expected, even though the Avs were a little shorthanded. Some guys didn't play last night, but Colorado's the best team in the league for a reason. And we'll talk to Coach about it. Mammoth had a little rust last night. And so explosive second period, but not a lot of goals scored after that. In fact, no goals scored in the first or third period in that game last night.
For either team.
Either team. But 6 in the second, big goal explosion for the Avalanche. They scored a couple more. Then the Mammoth, Dylan Gunther got 2 of them, but that was it. They had opportunities, chances, even a 5-on-3 in the third period and could not find the back of the net. And the Mammoth missed an opportunity for points last night. So not a big deal, not the end of the world. Still in a great spot. Still a lot of positivity moving forward. I think their percentage chance of making the Stanley Cup playoffs right now is in the 80 percentile. So still not the not a doom and gloom loss by any means, but disappointing in the fact that coming out of the break, you thought maybe they would get him shorthanded, get him in a good spot, and get a win. By the way, the Ducks won last night. They got 2 points, and they're actually in second in the Pacific Division. The Anaheim Ducks, despite a -9 goal differential this year, currently in a nice spot in the Pacific Division, 1 point ahead of the Edmonton Oilers. The Mammoth are the number 1 wild card spot at 64 points. The Seattle Kraken now moved down to the number 2 spot in the wild card, the final wild card spot at 63 points. The Mammoth currently have a 4-point buffer between them and the Kings for a wild card spot. So Utah in a good position, but yeah, Sly last night just a little disappointed that they weren't more competitive. Never had a lead in that game last night.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I wouldn't say it was expected. We know the Avalanche have the best point differential in all of the league by a large margin, right? They're 76. The next best is, 52? But I thought it was still aggressively competitive. I think that the Avalanche, for one respects the Mammoth and the matchups that they've had, these past couple years. And that second period was a doozy, right? If you were not in the arena at that moment or during that period, I don't know what you were doing, because it was like point after point, attack after attack. I was just talking about it right before the Avalanche scored their fourth goal. Lawson Krause had a fast break and the ability to tie it up, and he just missed it. Yeah. And like for me as an athlete, I'm just like, how deflating is that, right? Skating, your opportunities, and you were like inches away on a fast break, and your shot was just off, right? Because in hockey and even in soccer, right, you try to hit the corners, you try to hit that sweet spot and what it is, and it just felt really deflating after Krause missed that goal, and then the Avalanche come down and they go up 4-2. So that's essentially like a huge turn of it. It's a big swing in points and turn of events, and that was just deflating. And then the third period was just all fight, and so but it's still aggressiveness. Again, optimistically, as I was talking about yesterday with BYU's basketball team, it's still their season. You still have opportunities to get into it, and we talked about getting this the playoffs, right, and see exactly what that looks like for the Mammoth, right? There's opportunity there, right? You're saying there's a chance, right? And that's all a lot of people want, man. And yeah. I love to have, these miracle stories or underdog stories or last seed stories that make it, right? 6, 7 seeds in the playoffs, making it all the way to the Super Bowl in football, and 7, 8 seeds getting past the number 1 seed, in the first round. We love good stories like that, and I think that hockey's a prime sport to get that done, man. So just giving the Mammoth an opportunity here at the end of the season and not let this game affect the rest of the games, it's got to be key for them.
Yeah, look, the reality here is there's 14 points between them and the Wild in the Central Division. It's just not realistic that the Mammoth are going to be able to catch the Wild for that number 3 spot in the Central. And that would likely end up being a playoff series with the Dallas Stars to open things up, which that ain't fun either.
No.
So in some aspects, I kind of like that number 1 wild card spot for the Mammoth because they'd play the Pacific Division champion, which is most likely going to be the Vegas Golden Knights. And you get a nice geographical series going there, and then their first ever Stanley Cup playoff series. Playing Vegas would be significant. I think it would be fun. And I think it would kind of build somewhat of a rivalry there. Although the natural rivalry being in the Central seems to be with the Colorado Avalanche. That hasn't formed yet. That's not there yet. And I don't think you saw anything last night that would make you think that there's a rivalry going on between these teams. The Mammoth have played the Avs tough, but
yeah, they played them tough.
That happens over a period of time, and you got to beat them multiple times in order for that to happen.
That's got to be a segment we got to talk about and debate one of these days. What defines a rivalry? Right? A lot of people are like, oh, it's a rivalry, is this and that, and other schools are like, is it?
A rivalry is when
two
great teams battle each other often. Mm-hmm. You can't have a rivalry where you play once every 10 years, right? You got to play every year or whatever sport it is. Maybe it's twice a year or 4 times a year.
But it's even.
A geographical connection helps. It's even. You're taking turns beating each other up. And every game is must-see. That's a rivalry.
That's Utah versus BYU football. Because I feel like they have a great...
Historically, yes. Ever since the early 90s,
because the 70s and mid-80s, all BYU.
Right.
And then it turned the tide to Utah. They went in there, and there was years of back and forth, and then Utah's went on a streak.
2010s were all Utah.
Right, and there's been back and forth with that. But essentially, and then now the last, 3-4 years, it's been the Blue Guys. And I just think that there's just so much back and forth in every single game decided by 3 points or less. That's defining rivalries for me. And right now, I mean, hopefully the Mammoth can work towards that, and because the Colorado Avalanche have been good, for a while. They won Stanley Cup 4 years ago.
They have 3 total, and they won it in 22.
I think it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that the Mammoth could be working into making that a rivalry. I think that there needs to be more narratives behind it, right? Like,
sure.
Let me hate somebody over there. Let me say something publicly.
You can't just say it's a rivalry and it becomes one.
Yeah. Let me call a guy out and be like, you suck, dude. Yeah. And then, and everybody runs with it. And that makes it more intense. There's got to be a little bit more narrative than, oh, you've played these guys tough, right? And so, yeah, I think there's a little bit more building for that. But the Avalanche is a good measuring stick for where you need to be as an organization right now.
There's no question that's the team that everybody's chasing in the Western Conference, and we got to see where they're at last night. There's still some work to do there. It's now time for our weekly conversation with the head coach of the Utah Mammoth, André Tourigny, right now on JJ and Alex 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Your exclusive radio home of the Utah Mammoth is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Now it's time to hear from the head coach of the Mammoth, André Tourigny.
Joining us now live, André Tourigny, the head coach of the Utah Mammoth. Coach, the weeks keep flying on by. Time for another segment.
Guys.
Thanks for joining us.
How are you guys?
Doing well, doing good. It was good to have NHL hockey back last night. Not the result you guys wanted, but the guys played hard. What did your thoughts after that game, now that you've had a chance to maybe digest it a little bit and watch some of the film?
I think obviously it's at that level when you didn't play for that long, there's a little bit of rust. There's no doubt about it. I think we didn't have the same pace than we normally have, the same speed in our execution, our decision, that kind of stuff. I think the guys had the effort, but I think we will get better game after game. And I think it was even for both teams. It was not just for our team. I think there's both sides of it. But I expect us to get better every game and having a quick improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you've been stated saying that there's no book, there's no guideline, there's no of how to handle an Olympic break in the middle of your season like that. And you said, my guys have been practicing and they look good as ever. Is there anything else after seeing this matchup last night that you probably would have tweaked, a little bit during the rest break or wish you would have had, or would you do differently next time?
Yeah, there's definitively stuff. I think in terms of cardio and stuff like that, I felt okay. That was another level than a 50-minute practice or something like that. So okay, maybe there's something we will rethink eventually in that sense. As well, I think we went to try to improve a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we felt okay. Maybe we can get better at this, can get better at that. I think the first thing could be to reinforce what you already do well and stuff like that. But it's a tough call. I get on here on the radio and I'm saying, maybe we should have done this and that. Yeah. Who knows? You know what I mean? It's not like we played a poor game and we were not close. I think there's a little bit of both. I think there's a little bit of a thing we could have done better, but as well, we play a really good opponent. We were 2 shot away. Yeah. Exactly. We're competitive. So I don't want to overthink everything. What's important for me is what's ahead of us.
Yes.
That will be a really important end of the season with the schedule, with the race for the playoffs. So I think what's important is what can we get of that game and how can we get better.
Everybody in the NHL right now is looking up at the Colorado Avalanche, and they've just been phenomenal this season and having success. I mean, you've seen a lot of great teams in the league, but they've been winning at a clip this year that you don't often see.
Yep.
And so they're a great barometer. Win or lose, when you play a team as good as the Colorado Avalanche that have more points than anybody in the league, how important is that for you to assess where you guys currently are at?
Oh, I think it's key. I think those are measuring stick. You look at those games and you look at where's your team at and what you can do better and how can where's the gap in everything. So I think those guys, we played really well against those guys all season long. Like I said yesterday, it's a different kind of a setup in the sense of we've been both team off for 3 weeks and just get back at it. So it's tough time for me to say it was a measuring stick. We know where we are. I think tomorrow will be a better game. Will be our second game. Same thing for Mini. So I think that will be. I expect the game to be really close to what it was before the break.
Yeah, can you break down that second period last night? I feel like there was a lot of intensity and emotion. So managing emotion within that period, it was back and forth. They go up 2-0. You guys score, and then they go up 3. You guys go up 2. It was very back and forth. And then for me, I paid attention to it. That Lawson Krause kind of miss in the fast break right there, right before they went up to 4-2. I felt like there was a lot of energy that left the building or left the players at that point, and then Avalanche come and score. How do you manage emotions in a back and forth like that?
I think first the way that game happened, I think the break they have or the goal they had, we had a hard feeling because we thought we could have played better a little bit. So that was a feeling we had, and we missed opportunity. But right then they took the lead. We came back, Gunnar scored a big goal to put us back in the game. So we believed in ourselves at this point. It's not like we were looking at it saying, okay, will be tough for us to get back. We knew we were capable of coming back. So it's just a matter of being resilient and staying with it. I don't think we had any lack of faith of what we can do and what we can accomplish there. We believe we could come back. It's just Colorado Avalanche. We often talk about their offense, rightfully so, but they're really stingy defensively as well. They have good goaltending and they play well defensive. Being down against them, we crawl back, but not enough to win the game or come back and get a point or something like that. But I think it was not by lack of effort.
After missing 28 games, Logan Cooley returned last night. It was great to see Cools back on the ice. What did you think of his return and his performance?
I think the effort was there. I think it was a little bit like the team. We try to do a little bit too much with the puck instead to simplify. We're not as connected. We're not as fast as we normally are. And same thing defensively. I think we need to hunt puck. You know, as successful we've been in January, a lot of that is pure work. It was grind, facing and being really the aggressor with our opponent and hunting them and staying on them. And it's a lot of grind. It's a lot of work. So that level of intensity, you don't go from 0 to 100 and just saying, okay, we're back at it. You need to crank it up a little bit every day. And then that's what we need to do, to realizing, okay, hey, that was to compete against all the team we did, like we did in January, and play at the level we played. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of pace and a lot of pressure and a lot of compete. So we need to use that game to set our expectation and get our identity where we want to be, and be as relentless as we have been in the last month.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did get a lot of shots on goals last night. It wasn't falling, and you know, been in those games where it's just like, it's just not our night and stuff like that. So how was the guys? Did they just understand the moment and kind of what happened? And you know, they felt like they were in it, as you said. Like it felt like we still had a chance in doing that. And how do you take that momentum and what you learned last night into the game against the Minnesota Wild tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the guys know we have more. I think they know we have more jam, more physicality, more aggression in our game. And I'm not saying that as a blame. I'm saying that as, like I just mentioned, you're not stopping for 21 days and you come back the next day and you're as high as you were. You know, the reality of an NHL is you play every second day. And when you have 2-3 days between games, the following game, you're rusty. That's true. You're coming back and, we didn't play for 3 days. We need to keep it simple in the first period, and we need to get our legs under ourselves and get the rust off. We're talking 3 days. You know, when you play probably 4 games in the previous 7 days and you have 3 days off and then you get rusty. Imagine if you have 20-odd days. So that level of the speed you need to think and the quickness you need to have mentally, you can practice as much as you want. It's not the same when you get in the game. So I think having that quickness mentally and that awareness and that urgency, I think you do that in those kind of action. And I think that was the first game against Colorado, a good team. They played well. They made good play, but we, like I said, we came up short. But I think that was just a good first step regarding our last stretch of the season, and I think that will be much better tomorrow.
There was a lot of excitement and anticipation about Logan Cooley returning, but I also thought it was huge for you guys to get Alex Kerfoot back, and I think some of what he does goes underappreciated. He's missed a lot of time. Yep. What do you miss when he's not in the lineup, Coach?
Reliable, super smart, leadership, play good defense, play good offense. He has speed. He can possess the puck. Actually, him and Crosser, I think they were our top, their best 2 players today. I think Crosser had a solid game, and I think Kirry had a really solid game as well. I think he had poise with the puck, move his feet, was sound defensively. Obviously, he's like always, but I thought offensively he had that little grit, that little extra push. We need to be successful.
And Dylan Guenther, another great night, 2 goals, now to 27 on the season. And we see the goal scoring. What else does he do for you guys that helps you guys win, that helps maintain the culture that you want with this team? Because obviously, even though he's young, a lot of guys look up to him.
Yeah, when Cools went down, there were a lot of questions. A lot of people asked me about how much that will affect Gunnar. And I think you saw then what kind of character this guy has. And he showed his character. He really stepped up his game, keep it simple, bring a lot of speed, a lot of work, both sides of the puck. And he's been successful. Whatever we changed line here and there, and he was called to contribute. And at 5-on-5, he's been really good during that stretch. So that showed how good he is and how much he can contribute and how important he is to our team.
Get to see you guys back on the ice Friday night. Another tough one against the Minnesota Wild, but another great opportunity for you guys to get a quality win against a Central Division opponent. Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Love doing this every week. Look forward to next week, and good luck the rest of the week here.
Thank you for having me, boys. Have a good one.
You got it, Coach. Head coach André Tourigny, the Utah Mammoth. You hear him here weekly on JJ and Alex 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Your thoughts from conversation today with Coach Tourigny?
It's great. It kind of, without saying it, gave you a look into the locker room after the game, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't as disappointing as, like, when you get blown out and there's some stuff like that. So the boys played great last night. They just, can't come out. Give the Avalanche credit. It was an absolute. They're an absolute awesome team. They coming in. You wanted to put up a good fight, and they did. That second period was just electric. There was so much back and forth in that, and we had more shots on goal than they did, right? And so I think that it just gave you insight to how they're going to progress forward, and for me, this is what the biggest thing I wanted to know is, and we talked about it before Coach jumped on, is this loss isn't going to carry over into this next game, the next 24 games of the season, right? And I felt that from the coach. I felt like he's like they understood what happened and that there was a huge miss, and they're going to get right back to it tomorrow night. And so it's going to be a great night again at the Delta Center, against another good opponent. But you're going to see a good team come back from a loss that they felt like they were in, and have a great showing tomorrow night.
There clearly was some rust.
Yes, clearly.
And you can't have rust and beat the Avs. I'm sorry. You can't. Even if the Avs have a little bit of rust, your rust is not going to beat their rust. I'm sorry. And that's what we saw last night. I think in different circumstances, a little sharper team. And we've seen the Mammoth sharper and play better. And, you got to play 3 periods as well. And I'm not sure that they had the focus and the I don't know if it's even focus. That's probably not the right word, but rust is the best thing I can think to describe what we saw, and I think Coach acknowledged that, and that's natural and that's normal.
Right.
But you're not gonna be able to play with rust and beat the best team in the league. So you move on. They didn't get the win over the Avalanche, not a big deal. I think that they match up really well against the Minnesota Wild. In the last 2 years, they've had a lot of success against the Minnesota Wild. So Friday night's another opportunity. I think it's a chance for the Mammoth to get 2 points. And I expect them to. And it's going to be a big opportunity. That's a game I think that they really need to get. I think you've got some road games coming up again. And they've done fine on the road. But I think you want to get a couple more points here, Minnesota and then Chicago on Sunday, before you head to the East Coast. This is an opportunity to do that. And I think that they match up well against the Wild, and they can beat the Wild. So nothing lost last night. There's still an 80 percentile chance of making the Stanley Cup playoffs. They still are in command of that number 1 wild card spot, 1 point ahead of the Kraken, but 4 clear of the Los Angeles Kings. That's what to watch as we go down the stretch here. Now 24 games left in this regular season. They'll host the Wild, as I said, on Friday night. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into the NFL Blitz. There's so much going on with the league right now. The Combine, there's other things going on. A lot of talk about guys that might be released, etc. And, of course, talking about the draft as well. So much going on. The NFL never sleeps, and we'll get to it in the Blitz next. On JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Just want all you know, Sly Sylvester's such a great guy. He just took the donut box and he put it several feet away from me, so I won't be tempted to.
Hey, man, you can call me Don Quixote, right?
Don Quixote.
I am riding in on my trusty steed.
Save the day.
Saving the day, thinking of others.
Kept me from consuming 1,000 calories in 15 seconds.
Just going to push it closer to you. just smell it. You can smell it. But no,
You're a good friend.
Trying to pass it up to Lloyd, and he respectfully declined. Asterisk on respectfully, because he kind of gave me a stank face, like, how dare you ask me for a donut? Lloyd, I've been very nice to your Raiders lately. I needed a little bit more excitement behind your decline. At least entertain it for a second.
Is he in there? Okay, Lloyd, we have a Raider question we got to ask you. It was from an earlier segment, but we're going to ask you now since we're in the Blitz. Unless you're going to hide out in the corner. Like, I don't want to talk to these clowns.
You're just like enjoying my pain of the Raiders. You enjoy the pain in my face.
Maybe,
of course.
Maybe, but
lay it out there for him.
We
JJ.
just watched David Bailey run a 4.5 140. How bad do you want Fernando Mendoza? Because David Bailey's available. 4.51.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't change the fact that you still need a quarterback. I get it. That's fast.
David Bailey ran a 4.51.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Is Ty Simpson entertaining you at all? Carson Benz.
Roll back Geno Smith. Why not?
Would you?
Roll it back.
Are you building towards something?
Roll it back.
All right.
Back.
See how that goes. While we're at it, let's keep that offensive line. Let's keep it going.
Is it the O-line or is it the coach? The O-line coach.
There could be some of the coach. Because they did put why am I going blank on his name? That played for Bingham.
Yeah.
The Ducks.
Oh, no, Jackson Powers Johnson. He played for Corner Canyon. Yeah.
Corner Canyon.
Yep, Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yeah. They moved him into a different position.
Yeah.
So
they have two
it might have
Utah
been a little
kids
bit
on
about
that
the coach, but
yeah.
Either way, that offensive line was really
JPJ
bad.
played guard. He played left guard, didn't he?
He was center last year.
Yeah, he looked out of place at the left guard.
He was center last year, so I don't know.
He looked great at center. Yeah, well.
Apparently, I just shoot away your guys' producer. I guess I just took over.
Hey,
He just took the opportunity to go to the bathroom.
This is my show now.
Are you in foreign
Sorry.
territory?
I just needed a Raiders opinion on that. Just thought, you know what? I don't know. It's hard because I just watched David Bailey run a 4.5 140. I'm like, that guy's available at number one. And are you sure Mendoza's your guy?
Trade down, go Cardinals, Jets.
I'd look at all options, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, it's not like he's Caleb Williams. But he did win a Heisman Trophy. He did lead Indiana to a national championship, but
You're right. Look at all options. You're not wrong. But hey, guess what? At the end of the day, you got to make the right choice and make the right option.
Here's two options for you. You can either have David Bailey and Max Crosby, or David Bailey or Max Crosby.
No, we don't want that. They could have had Max Crosby and Khalil Mack at the same time. Got rid of that.
Sounds like
we couldn't have that. We had to get rid of one.
Why would we want that? What are we talking about, Sly?
Raider logic here. Just doesn't.
Things are getting a little bit
talent.
weird.
Like, slow down, man.
Easy.
We got to pay these guys. I'm not going to pay these
That's
guys.
making too much
Can't
sense,
have
Sly.
two of those.
It's making way too much sense, Sly. Come
Can't
on
have
now.
two freaks. What are we talking about?
Oh, man.
Well.
Mendoza will be good. But, man, I'm just saying, there's a lot of talent. Anthony Richardson's available. The Colts have granted quarterback Anthony Richardson an okay to seek a trade.
That's the more Geno Smith running back scenario I've heard.
What are your thoughts on Anthony Richardson, Sly? Do you think he can make it in the league?
No, I don't.
Oh, boy.
I don't without proper coaching. I think he should have stayed in college a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a freak athlete, but he needs so much refining at the quarterback position, and you're not going to get that at the NFL level. I'm telling you, I've been being in these NFL locker rooms. If you don't got it in the first year or two, they're already not thinking about it. The Colts drafted Richardson at 3, 4 overall, and they're already saying, "Yeah, you can seek a trade. Go ahead." I haven't even got you to being a restricted free agent yet. You go ahead, seek the trade.
Wild, right?
Whatever. I want to get some assets. I'll take 7-year-old Phillip Rivers over you. It's just crazy. And for me, knowing the dynamic and knowing the business of the NFL, they are not going to take the time to develop guys like Anthony Richardson. We went down to the Swamp and played Anthony Richardson. His athletic ability is what was so on display, not his cerebral quarterback intellect. Because he didn't kill us, with his cerebral quarterback intellect. He killed us with his legs because we couldn't fit gaps.
Right.
Don't let me get started with that stupid crap. And we were still in it. We should have won the game. But yes, he's extremely athletic. But again, at the quarterback position, I think he's playing backyard football. He's waiting for things to get open. He doesn't see it. So no, I am not sold on Anthony Richardson being a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he goes. I don't know where he finds an opportunity now. He's been exposed a little bit, and the tapping out on third down thing. I think that was
Darren Peterson.
That was bad. Right. That was not. You can't. And that's Darren Peterson does that in college. You can't do that in the NFL at the quarterback position. You can't tap out on third down.
Get the heck out. And here's the whole.
Can't do
here's
that.
The thing. That's what we know. Imagine what other internal things are going on.
Well, there's a reason why a guy they picked in the top 5 is not going to come back, and Daniel Jones is coming off an Achilles, and the other option is Riley Leonard, and they're still saying, "Go ahead,
get the hell out of here.
Go find a trade. We need to move on. You need to move on."
These NIL babies are going to be something else, man.
Yeah,
the narrative, the storylines that we're going to get.
But the
league
league don't care.
Years,
the league don't care,
and that's what they're going to find out.
Not for long. Not for long. Yeah, that's crazy that that could already be the case, that Anthony Richardson could be getting out of Indy. Yeah, by the way, Daniel Jones, their GM, Ballard, said that Daniel Jones is on track to
love him.
Be ready to go next year, even after that Achilles injury. So when they had Daniel Jones healthy and they had that rolling with Jonathan Taylor, the Colts were in first place in the AFC. Don't forget that.
I think they were the best team in the league, right?
Until a couple weeks before he got injured, they had the best record in the NFL.
Yeah. So they were rolling.
They were. They have talent.
I'm telling you, man, get out of New York and you're doing good.
Seriously. Where quarterbacks go to die.
That includes
thought that was Cleveland, but apparently it's New York too.
One of those guys is the armpit of the NFL.
So, backup quarterbacks out there. There seems to be a lot of interest. Panthers are receiving trade interest for Andy Dalton. And this is more bad news for Anthony Richardson because I think there's better options out there.
Way better options.
For teams that are looking for even a backup. I don't know that any teams are looking to start Mac Jones, but Mac Jones was really good last year for the 49ers.
Why not?
And I don't think the 49ers make the playoffs if Mac Jones didn't play as well as he did.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They would not even be in the conversation with the injury, the handicap placard logo that they took on during the season.
It's crazy. Just one after another.
But Mac Jones, I'm telling you, I'm all about him. I want the Steelers to go out and get him. I think he is great. He definitely showed that he's got it. And we talk about it every single year. It's about the right fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Kevin O'Connell up there in Minnesota, that's a quarterback guy right there. If I'm a quarterback, that's where I want to go. J.J. McCarthy is just not great.
I think people are dinging the Vikings for letting go of Sam Darnold, but how much of an impact did Sam Darnold's time with the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell help him take the next step in his career?
So imagine Mac Jones getting 2 years with Kevin O'Connell and how valuable he's going to be after a couple years, right? But again, I think the 49ers situation over there with Shanahan was great. I think that he learned a lot. He got some confidence. Shanahan does a great job of.
There's not a better coach in the league
and system
than Shanahan's.
Exactly. And so now I believe that Mac Jones got his feet back wet and got his confidence back because it was killed in New England, right? And so now you go out, you got a job. There's an opportunity there, L.A. or Las Vegas. You get a Mac Jones to hold you over for the year until these other quarterbacks come for the future. You trade down, get some other assets, future first-round pick, whatever, owning whatever. You get some assets for dropping down in the draft. Go get David Bailey. Increase that offensive defensive line. Get Ashton Jeanty 1,500 yards rushing. Make him a star. Mac Jones can lead you. Get a couple free agent receivers. Man, it can hold you for another year. You've been sucking already.
Yeah.
So I just you got to play the game, right? Am I playing to win this year? Do you think you can be the number one team in the AFC West this year, even with Fernando Mendoza? Or do you trade back and be like, okay, let's build here. Let's see the Kansas City Chiefs really fall apart in another year, right? And see exactly, can the Broncos double down on what they did last year? Is that possible, right? Because they need a backup quarterback.
I've got a list of teams in the league right now that need a guy. I think you could add the Arizona Cardinals to this list. Kyler Murray and something's off there, right? So, who's the most sought after free agent quarterback this year? Remember what Malik Willis did for the Packers this year when Jordan Love went down? Malik Willis is going to get paid. Where does he land? I will read you a list of these teams. You tell me where Malik Willis is the best fit. The Raiders, the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, the Minnesota Vikings, the Arizona Cardinals, the Cleveland Browns, the Indianapolis Colts, or the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can argue whether the Steelers and Colts need a quarterback. Why not? Maybe Daniel Jones isn't ready.
Malik Willis.
I think Malik Willis is a dude.
Yeah, I like him in a few positions, man, actually. I like the Dolphins. You know, I mean, I liked him being in the Dolphins if
McDaniels
was there. I forget his name. McDaniels.
He's now the
still
Chargers OC.
Now the Chargers OC. I like him down there. I think that he could be a star over there. He's still young.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel's now the OC of the LA Chargers.
But I think pairing him with Mike McCarthy,
that was the one I was going to choose.
He would look good.
Stay in the division. That's a roster that's ready to win. They just need a quarterback. It's plug and play.
You can
still develop J.J. McCarthy. You don't have to give up on him.
But here's the thing. Malik Willis can be a backup if you want. If you want to bring Aaron Rodgers in and do this. Aaron Rodgers is a time bomb, right? This whole offseason drama, whatever, decision-making, whatever it is, you're not investing him in the future, at least past this year. So what do you want? Malik Willis is capable. You've seen what he's able to do. Give him an opportunity to shine and make that happen with a quarterback coach. Mike McCarthy's a quarterback guy. You've seen what he does in Dallas. You've seen what he did in Green Bay. He has the capabilities of doing that. Look, Jaylen Warren, Malik Willis, those plethora of tight ends they got over there, DK Metcalf, a lot of the young talent, that Roman Wilson from Michigan, I really like him. You know, and he gets another year on his belt. They got some guys over there, right? You inject a young, confident quarterback like the way Malik Willis played this year with a good quarterback coach, you're going to get a dynamic Steelers offense. I like his athleticism, all that stuff. That makes sense. And so that would be a good pick for me right there. And then, you know, your defense is your defense. You know, I still think that was the dumbest thing to trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick out of there. He just did so much stuff for your defense. Anyway, that's other stuff. But the Steelers' defense is normally always okay. And the division ain't going to get any easier. So I would go get a guy like Malik Willis to pair him with Mike McCarthy. I like that.
I bet Malik Willis lands in Miami. Jeff
I
Hafley's a
agree.
former Green Bay Packers assistant. That just makes a lot of sense for a number of different reasons. And the Dolphins need a new quarterback. But there's a lot of guys like, where does Tua end up going? There's not a lot of spots around the league right now. I mean, if you were Kirk Cousins,
Cleveland.
Does Kirk Cousins go back to Minnesota?
I would hope so.
Where does Kyler Murray go?
Do it? Because you could get Kirk Cousins for cheap, right?
Well, the Falcons are. It's kind of like the Russell Wilson Broncos thing.
So Vikings, why not?
Go home.
Bring Thug and Cousins back. Kirko Chains would drop some dimes.
I want to see Kirko Chains back in Minnesota.
I know Justin Jefferson would love it. Make Justin Jefferson happy. Get freaking Kirk Cousins for pennies. I like it. I think it's great. If the Falcons finalize that release, and if for me, if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm taking that. I'm going to Minnesota.
Go back with absolutely.
You have weapons over there. You have receivers over there. That's the big thing because I'm just like, okay, what if I go to Vegas? Kirk Cousins goes to Vegas, right? What are you getting into?
Yeah, it's not.
I like Spy Texas GM, but like, are you really surrounding me with guys that are known right now? Thug and Cousins is, he's upwards in his career. Go back to Minnesota. You got assets over there. They know you. That's the system you know. Easy relationship with the receivers. You get in there, it's instant, seamless transition. That's what I would be hoping for. It's a win-win for Cousins, win-win for Minnesota. Atlanta, you just suck.
We could spend another hour here debating who are they going to be the starting quarterbacks in the league next year.
Right.
There's just so many interesting
storylines. Yeah.
Who's going to be the Jets quarterback? Who wants that? Do the Browns go with Shedeur, or do they try to get their money out of Deshaun Watson, or do they go out and get Tua? I don't know. There's a lot of options out there. Or who's going to get Kyler Murray? Who wants that?
What if Kyler Murray and Tua both go to New York Jets?
Oh, man.
And then they're just like, that's their quarterback competition is
Gross.
those two guys.
That's gross.
That's very New York Jets-esque, though.
I can't wait to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah.
The NFL's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
All right, the KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. You can nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at kslsports.com/contest and listen every Thursday afternoon to this show, JJ and Alex, for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week, and it's time for our weekly winner right now. And our winner is Jamie Sparks, nominated by Corianne Mon. Jamie is the head drill team coach at Salem Hills High School. She volunteers countless hours to the athletes and the school. Jamie has grown the program, and the team as a whole has improved under her direction. Simultaneously, she runs a dance studio in the community. Heart and Soul is a studio started by her mom, Diane Rosenbaum, and is family run. She, her sister, niece, etc. teach dance to kids of all ages. This past month, her mom died unexpectedly. She still made time with her mom in the hospital to come to the drill team competition and check on her athletes while going through one of the most difficult days of her life. Dedication doesn't begin to sum up her passion and work ethic for dance. Her entire family positively impacts our community with their love of the arts and expression. Jamie improves the lives of the girls on her team and is one of the most driven and selfless coaches I've ever met. She endured the loss of her mom amidst the busiest competition month, yet the team still had her full attention because she truly cares about the girls. Jamie, we are so sorry for your loss. And at the same time, we want to recognize you with the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week Award. You'll receive Beehive Meals and a nice cash payment. I don't know what you want to call it. You're gonna be rewarded for that. And Jamie, we're thinking of you and what your family's going through. And thank you for all you're doing in South Utah County for all these great people in that community. So it's awesome. Congratulations, Jamie Sparks, our Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. We have to take a break. When we come back, it's a top 10, and it's an NHL-themed top 10. We'll see if Sly and Annapolis are doing their hockey homework. I'm on you guys. Got to hit the books. Homework. Ugh. Next, JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Oh, man.
Hey, if you ever have a chance to meet Sly, don't listen to his diet advice.
Hey, it's science.
Everything you read or watch on TikTok is not true.
There's scientists backing, these facts.
Backing what?
Fish with beer burns fat and it boosts your immunity, says nutritionists. That's all I need to hear. Fish and chips for dinner. And a little bruja.
With some extra butter. That'll make you lose weight.
Yeah.
Erroneous. Lies.
Erroneous on all accounts.
I'm not saying it isn't good. I mean, fish and chips is awesome.
Right.
I can tell you a couple places in town to go get some fish and chips you probably didn't know about, but, I mean, high calorie. Sorry. High calorie.
No, sometimes.
You put the batter on it and you fry it, it's going to be high calorie.
Not all calories are bad calories.
Not all calories are bad calories. True. But when you ingest more calories than you get rid of, you gain weight.
There, at that part right
That's science.
But it says the fish and beer burns the fat and calories.
Oh, it burns it. Okay, yeah, sure.
There's logic behind it.
Sure it does. Logic.
It's science, JJ.
It is science. Okay, then, fine. You saw it on TikTok. It has to be true.
I'll see you at dinner, buddy.
You know what is true, though? I can verify it scientifically. Annapolis is confirmed. It's Mammoth ticket to Thursday.
Oh.
Mammoth ticket Thursday. And I teased earlier in the show we're going to give away tickets.
To the Blackhawks on Sunday.
The Blackhawks on Sunday. Now is the time. Caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE wins a pair of lower bowl tickets to the Utah Mammoth versus Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks on March 1st at the Delta Center. That's Sunday, folks. Sunday. Mammoth and Blackhawks, 801-575-ZONE. Be the 12th caller right now at 801-575-ZONE. Sly, I'm sorry. Napolis is going to be too busy answering the phone, so he's not going to be able to help you with this test. It's time for the top 10, and this week, since the Mammoth were back last night, I wanted to go with an NHL. It's not like hard, but it's going to encourage you to want to do your homework and research the history of the NHL.
Okay. I like that. Sports nerd here, so
yeah. So you're
anything
gonna
I don't know.
After this, you're gonna be like,
that.
I got to brush up on this because next time I'm going to be ready.
All right, what is it?
Top 10 most Stanley Cups won in NHL history.
Teams?
1 through 10, the teams.
Or players?
The teams.
Okay.
Most cups won in NHL history, 1 through 10. You start the timer, and the top 10 starts right now.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Ding.
Oilers.
Ding.
Rangers.
Ding.
Bruins.
Ding.
I'm going to say this. Coyotes, just playing.
That's funny. That's funny there.
Anaheim, is it Anaheim Ducks?
No.
Anaheim Ducks?
They have one.
Dallas Stars.
No. Just one.
Not the Kraken, but the Carolina Nashville Predators.
Never won one.
Capitals. Washington Capitals.
They've only won one.
I said the Rangers. Island? No, not the Islanders.
You just ding.
Islanders are one? I didn't
Ding.
think they were. Never mind.
They won 4 in a row in the 80s.
Minnesota Wild. The Chicago Blackhawks.
Ding. I'll give him Chicago.
All right, Chicago.
Okay, so you did fairly well.
Chicago's my favorite NHL team growing up because I like the logo.
Yeah, it is a cool logo. What's funny is you got the bottom of the list, not the top. You're going to kick yourself when you find out how this went down. So I'm going to start at number 10. And this is where now if you're a big NHL nut, you're going to know who the St. Louis Eagles are. But the St. Louis Eagles, who only played as the St. Louis Eagles for 1 year, are the old Ottawa Senators.
If I said the Blues, so
it's not the Blues.
That wouldn't work. Okay.
It's the St. Louis Eagles who were the old Ottawa Senators way early in the league that won 4 cups. That technically is 10th. If you throw that out, there's a tie with 3 teams that have 3, the Avalanche, the Devils, and the Lightning. So I would have fudged for you and I would have allowed that to happen. The Avs, Devils, and Lightning are tied for 11th with 3 cups. All right, I'm going to start from the bottom. And I did with number 10. Now, number 9, the Rangers. You got it. The New York Rangers have 4 cups. Number 8 was the New York Islanders. They also have 4 cups. They won 4 in a row in the early 80s before the Wayne Gretzky Edmonton Oilers dynasty began. People forget about the Islanders run there. Number 6 was the Oilers. I skipped number 7. That was the Penguins. So they have 5. The Penguins have 5 cups. Two great dynasties that they had over the years. The Edmonton Oilers are 6th with 5 that they won in the Gretzky years. Number 5 is your favorite logo in the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks, at number 5 with 6 cups. You got the Bruins, 4th. They also have 6 cups. You missed the top 3. Number 3, coming in at number 3 with 11 Stanley Cups, are the Detroit Red Wings.
Red Wings.
Yes, the Detroit Red Wings.
I was thinking of something up north, and that's why I said the Minnesota Wild, but I'm just like, what is the north team?
That was it. The Detroit Red Wings.
Okay.
And then just across the border, not too far away, is the Toronto Maple Leafs at number 2. They haven't won in a long time.
I should have just said all the Canadian teams.
Not since 1967, but the Maple Leafs have the second most Stanley Cups in the NHL with 13. And at number 1, and it's not even close, the Montreal Canadiens. With 23 Stanley Cups. The Montreal Canadiens. So I know the Canadiens have not been good for a long time either, and I don't think they've won since 93. They were the last Canadian team to win a cup, but they've won 23 over the years. They used to run the NHL for a long, long time. They are the crown jewel.
I'll take 60% on that test. I'll do that.
You did pretty darn good, Sly. You are 60%. Well on your way to becoming an NHL hockey fan.
Yeah.
Well done.
That D got my degree.
I'll give you C. I'll give you a C. I'll grade you on the curve. We really need to get to a break, don't we?
Hey, okay, I got you.
What a way to go into the 5 o'clock hour. We'll try to keep our jobs next on JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.